Hello my loves, for those of you who do not know, I am Gypsy. Now this is a picky card reading, but I need to explain it a little bit because this came to me through a meditation. So I did a little drawing so that you can better understand it. However, I need to cover up this page because, or maybe I can just flip it over. Yeah. So I'm a terrible drawer, by the way, but I saw this like rose, right? Now this rose is representative of the healing journey. So I've created a little tarot spread. This is the healing journey, the rose, the overall energy of the healing journey. Then we have a 5-pointed star representing each aspect here. We have mind, spirit, we have love, truth, and heart in regards to your healing journey. So I'm going to draw cards in relation to each of these 5 aspects. Then down the bottom, we have 2 thorns on this rose. So these are the thorns, the challenges, the hindrances in your journey. Now, let's get into the pile selection now that you sort of understand what's going on here.
Okay, so take a big deep breath in for me. And release. Now, ask your spirit team which of these 3 piles before me best represent my personal healing journey. Pick the pile which you are most drawn to. Once you have selected your pile, you can go to the description box of this video where you'll find the timestamp to the beginning of your pile.
Hello, pile number 1. Okay, let's get into it. Your healing journey. Where are you at? Where are you going? What's next? Let's have a look at all the different aspects of yourself in regards to your own sacred healing journey. Now, first of all, I did get a song come through for you, and the song is Intuition by Sophia Rain, and I will post that in the description box of this video so that you can click it and have a listen. And the whole song is about trusting in the journey, trusting in the process, opening up to where you're at. But I'm sure that if you listen, there'll be a more personalized message in there for you, right? So if you watched the intro, which I hope that you did, but if not, you'll figure it out. Then you know we're starting with the overall energy of your entire journey. Also, sorry, daffodils may be significant because I had an interruption whilst I was shuffling your cards, and it was somebody interrupting me to come and look at daffodils. So there may be some sort of significance to daffodils. Okay, so let's have a look at your first 2 cards representing where you're at in your sacred healing journey. So the first card, I've drawn these from the Rose Oracle. The first card that we have here is the Child Within. This one says Inner Mother, Innocence, Gentleness, and Tenderness. So in this particular image, she's like cradling a baby as well. So this could be that you are healing your inner child right now, or if you are a mother, you could be concerned about the way that you're showing up in this way, if you're doing what is best for your lineage. But she's like cradling it, quite sacred, but understanding that it's quite a delicate path. This card also represents revisiting old wounds, going back to the past. It's like an unraveling. It's an invitation, right, to reconnect, redefine. I'm hearing redefine who it is that you are. In this second card, we have the Mystic Rose. This one says compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. Now, what I'm really drawn to in this card is that she is the rose is not just sitting there by itself in her heart space. She's holding it there, like she feels as though she needs to hold it there. Like if she lets go, it will just fall away. So this is like really drawing me to the fact that you're trying to hold space for yourself, right? Trying to hold yourself up at this point in the journey. And also this rose, it looks kind of old, right? It looks kind of like weathered, tattered. You know, it looks like some of those petals are ready to fall away, right? This could be past experiences. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. So the first point of the star represents the mind, right? So what is on your mind? What is it that your thought process is healing right now? What's taking up space in your mind? Now this represents, you know, what we're strategizing, what we are choosing in each moment to create, to give our attention to, right? Now, I've pre-drawn some cards, but I'm going to be clarifying as well as we go because I didn't want to be shuffling from all different decks. So the first card that we have is Cleanse, and the second card is Walking Away. Okay. Clarified by the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, the Knight of Swords in reverse, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and the Four of Cups in reverse. All in reverse. That's interesting. Okay. All right. So let me just tune into this energy and see where your mind space is currently. So obviously this first card, it says clean slate, right? So you're ready to rewrite your narrative, rewrite your story, release some of these childhood wounds that are still existing, or past wounds, or wounds regarding, you know, your mother type energy. If you are like a divine feminine, or even so, like even if you're a masculine, it is that nurturing energy of the child. Have I made the best decisions for my children? Have I, if you have children, right? Otherwise, this is your inner child that you're nurturing. Now, the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse feels as though you've been in a cycle of things not turning your way, like where you felt like you had no control of the wheel, right? This image. I had no control here of the wheel. I feel like you're purging this kind of energy right now in regards to your headspace. Now, you've also got another card here that says Walking Away. This is prioritizing self, right? Taking back control. I recognize I have no control here in this space, and the only way for me to regain control is to walk away from conflict, walk away. It's giving the energy of like a big fuck you to the cycle that you have previously been in for a long period of time. This cleanse energy, as I see this card, she's in the bath, right? She's in the bath, and I can see you're in the space of cleansing your spirit. So you may not necessarily feel ready to take a lot of action in regards to recreating a new space for yourself, but rather walking away, avoidance of anything that doesn't light you up. We have the Knight of Swords here in the reverse. Now, the Knight of Swords energy can be quite impulsive, quite hostile, quite aggressive. This can be like a bully type energy. So you may feel as though you were somewhat bullied in your space. This could be like a long-term career that you had where, you know, you felt bullied by a boss. It could be a relationship where you felt bullied by a partner. It could be walking away from family connections who you feel have, you know, bullied you. It's giving, yeah, bully type energy. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is like your long-lasting legacy, right? This is something that you have potentially built that is quite stable. So this is not just, you know, if this is a job you're walking away from, it's a job that you've been at for a long time. If it's a relationship, it's potentially a marriage, or you have property together, you have built a life together, you have built a family together, and walking away is going to ruffle some feathers here, right? It's causing you to just, but it's like, I don't care, I can't stay here anymore kind of energy. Four of Cups in the reverse. Now, Four of Cups is about being unfulfilled, dissatisfied. Is this my life, right? Now, this is coming out in the reverse, so this is a release of that energy. Like, this doesn't have to be my life. I don't even know if I need clarifiers for this, but I'll yeah, okay, Two of Cups in the reverse. So this is a breakup, a disconnection, a dissatisfaction with the relationships in your life. I'm no longer interested in this. This doesn't light me up. This doesn't feed my sense of self. I've tried all that I can do here, right? And because with the Two of Cups energy there, this represents that you constantly tried to give to this, constantly tried to come from a place of understanding, of trying to work things out, but it's like you were shut down or it wasn't received. This is like, I severed this contract, right? This energy. Ace of Pentacles, yeah, I'm going to find new opportunity elsewhere. I feel like this space that you were in, Strength card in reverse, has weakened you. It's weakened your spirit. It has created a vulnerability within you where you became the victim of circumstance, of situation. It is like it's shattered your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and now you've made this final judgment, right? I got the Judgment card here. This is not it. This is not my life. I no longer choose this. And you are taking some form of accountability or responsibility for the spaces in which you have found yourself restricted. That's so powerful. All right, let's go on to the second aspect. Okay, for the second aspect, we have productive stress clarified by the Fool in the reverse, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. I just heard illusionment. Well, that makes a lot of sense because the moon here like creates illusions, right? So she's blinded, she can't actually see a way out. So this second aspect represents the heart space, right? This is making heart-based decisions over logical decisions. This is like living in a sense of flow, trusting in the universe and things like that, creating harmony in your relationships. This is like everything that you do is heart-based, from the heart space. Now, within this aspect, you are a little disconnected from it, right? Because of everything that you've experienced. You've learned a lesson that you can't be too giving in situations. I followed my heart. I stayed here out of a space of loyalty, and look where it got me, right? I've put so much effort into this particular situation, and I'm getting emotional as I tap into this energy. With this Fool energy here in the reverse, it's like, this was foolish. This was a misstep. I trusted. I had faith. The Fool energy takes a leap off that cliff, and you did that, and you fell on your face, right? I was trusting in this particular situation, relationship, or whatever. It didn't get me anywhere. I didn't gain any skills, right? In this area, it wasn't a good long-term investment. Now I'm looking for somewhere to put my energy, and I'm willing to put my hardworking energy elsewhere. This is like an energy of understanding. I've got to pick myself up by the bootstraps and make something happen, because if I trust on the people around me to help support me in this, I fall flat on my face, right? The Seven of Pentacles, again, represents that hard work, that long-term investment. I'm willing to put the work in. I'm willing to be patient and grow something new. So the good thing about this aspect is that you're not rushing. You are patient. You have been in a rushing space, right? Previously, in the previous energy, we had the Knight of Swords in the reverse. That is this rushing type of energy. Everything felt hasty in the previous chapter, and now you're looking for somewhere where you can ease tension and slow down a little bit. You no longer want these power struggles, right? You don't want to have to fight for everything. So you are somewhat disconnected in this area. You're tuning it out. So this whole point of the star is about that living in the heart space, right? Look where her hands are. Look where her arms are. They are like shielding, guarding the heart space. Like, no, I don't hear it. I don't see it. I'm not relying on my heart in this particular circumstance or at this point in my journey because of the pain that it's caused me, right? Let me clarify this energy. King of Cups, right? Now, this is your advice here in this particular situation. You are trying to avoid conflict. You are busying yourself with other things, with work, with whatever, trying to build something from yourself to release the tension of your connections, relationships, whatever. However, this is saying once you disconnect from this energy, that's an end to the conflict. You don't have to continue to shut off your heart space. Now, you got the King of Cups here. The King of Cups is somebody who has like reached the full spectrum, gone through the full spectrum of emotions and has reached emotional maturity, right? He picks his battles. He doesn't react to everything. He doesn't give his energy to things which don't replenish him in return, right? This is what you are learning in this space. It's like, I can't be Queen of Cups. I can't continue to give and give and give until I'm completely depleted in a situation. He's the master of his emotions. So regardless of what kind of conflict, tension comes at him, he's so intuitive. And I feel like this is the song, right? The song is like, trust your intuition to guide you toward what is for you and what is not, when to engage, when to go to battle, when to fight, when to dissociate, right? Because this card is giving me dissociation. I don't see this. I can't be bothered with this. I can't can't hear this right now, right? I need to focus on what I'm building for myself, or rebuilding, I just heard. Okay, let's go on to the next aspect. Okay, the next point of the star is truth, right? Are you in alignment with your truth? Do you live what you preach? Do you say what's on your heart? Do you feel safe to speak your feelings? This kind of thing. Okay, so first of all, we have settling and unfulfilled. Yeah, so I feel like in regards to where you've been, you're not going to settle, and you're willing to speak your mind. You're willing to follow what you've discovered about yourself up with actions, right? It's not that I'm going to bitch and moan about being unfulfilled here and feel as though I'm settling in a situation. I'm actually going to follow it up with my actions by getting the hell out of Dodge, right? Is this energy. Now let me see here. We have the Devil. This is interesting because this talks about attachments, right? This is like being bound to something, right? Feeling as though you are bound to something. So I feel like if, say, this is a job, a family member, a family dynamic, a lover, or whatever, it's like something about this makes you feel bound, whether it's like some sort of contract, a marriage contract, something like that. In this card, we have a bride. This card's upside down, come out in reverse, and she's a bride, but it's like, it's giving like bound to the devil, right, in a sense. And you're like, no more, I'm no longer going to be trapped by this, right? Then we have the Hermit. Then we have the Eight of Wands. The Nine of Wands. And the Seven of Wands. Damn. This is ready to fight. Okay. So within your truth, this is all about action, right? This is not about speaking your words, your mind. This is fighting for like fighting for your life, right? Fighting through your actions in regards to this whole truth aspect. You're not just having ideas about what it is that you can do and showing up in that way and how you can show up. You're actually putting it into motion. Now, as I look at the way these cards have come out, right? These cards are telling me a story, right? Now, this might be triggering the way, I'm just going to say it how it's coming through. If you feel as though you may be triggered by something that could potentially come up, please click off now. So we got the Devil energy here, and then the Hermit energy. This is isolation, withdrawing from this particular situation, this particular person, or whatever it is that you feel that you are bound to, right? This is going on a journey of soul searching, of reaching your own enlightenment, finding your own truth, right? So this is where you're at. Now, when I look at this Eight of Wands, this comes out as the Archer. Now this is, to me, this is saying like, say you've gone off on your own journey and you've escaped into the woods, like you're in a period of isolation. This energy is giving me like, it's an energy of like almost being hunted, right? This could come out in so many ways, like show up in so many ways. It could be that you have left a relationship, but perhaps you are worried about somebody finding you. Perhaps you are in a situation where people are shooting arrows at you, regardless of the fact that you have withdrawn from this situation. This could be like somebody sending their flying monkeys out after you, right? With always something to say, or they're trying to, regardless of the fact that you've withdrawn, this devil energy is like still perhaps potentially seeking you out, or won't leave you alone, or you know, this can represent like online communication as well. Like they may be still texting you, they may be, you know, trying to draw you back in with this devil energy, like you can't hide from me kind of thing. Now then we have the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Wands, right? So if you look at all of these arrows, right, this is the arrows that are coming at you. Now we go into the next card, which is all these arrows have avoided you. However, You've picked them all up and you've built yourself a fortress, right? You are ready to defend, ready to protect. I am exhausted. I have been through so much in this particular situation, in this particular scenario with this person. However, I'm going to gather all of these arrows that are coming flying at me, and I'm building a goddamn fortress, and I will guard it with my life. You cannot enter here, and I'm willing to fight you on that, right? This energy. Okay. The final card, Seven of Wands. This is these people, like, oh my, I watched last night, I watched the movie Hocus Pocus with my daughter, and this is like at the start where the Sanderson sisters, they have like a potion and they all get their torches and they come and find the witches, and they're like, you know, with all these like torches and sticks, and it's like, you're like, I'm ready. I am not backing down from this fight, because I feel like in your energy, you feel as though you have no other choice. It feels as though within your healing energy that you feel that walking away isn't enough. You feel as though you still need to fight, right? It wasn't just I'm settling in this situation and now I disconnect from it and I walk away. That's all very well in regards to the heart aspect. However, when we come to the truth aspect, you're saying to me, the truth of the matter is, I don't feel that I can ever let my guard down. Like in regards to this previous chapter. Now this might be, you know, a persistent ex, or it may be somebody who is out here slandering you, or it's like, I feel like I have to consistently have my guard up here. Now let's see, what is advice here for this particular aspect? It's like you feel as though you are consistently misunderstood. So this is interesting. So advice here is that you have someone who can help you. Somebody who, like, you have a team. You're not isolated in this situation. So see how in this, like, this person's standing alone, right? Again, the Hermit energy represents isolation. However, your advice here is that you have a support system. People that, if they knew your story, would come and assist you or be able to help you. Now, this could be, this doesn't necessarily have to be like friends, family, or anything like that. This is like a gift from the universe, like somebody who comes in and says, here's a resource for you, right? Give you the resources, I'm hearing. This could be like, say for example, this is like a work situation. This could be like a lawyer that comes in and is like, you can sue them for defamation, for unfair dismissal, right? It's absolutely, you don't have to feel obligated here. It could be like a legal team, right? For those of you who are going through divorce, it's like, you don't have to fight this battle alone. This is not necessarily giving like close connections. This energy is giving to me like people with the resources, with the know-how, with the knowledge to help in this situation. This could be, for example, if you are leaving a, you know, violent situation or something like that. This could be like certain resources that come and help you find housing, appropriate support, safety, this kind of thing. Could be police, could be, let's see more about this assistance, please. What is assistance for those who chose pile number 1? It's like, we are with you. It's people who are helping you to stay optimistic, right? You still have a chance here. When you're feeling down, right? When the sun energy is reversed, you're feeling isolated as if you don't have anybody. You're a bit pessimistic about the situation. These people are coming in with a certain level of resources or expertise, saying it's okay. It's not as bleak as what you think this situation is. So in regards to your truth, I feel like there's a lot of self-doubt here, a lot of feeling like you don't have the resources, or you don't have the help, you don't have the assistance. But it seems like whoever these people are, they're bringing something very material. So this could be, you know, somebody's offering you a car, a place to stay, a new job, something like that. It's something tangible, right? That can help you get back on your feet, not necessarily offering you love and support. Okay, let's go into the next aspect. Okay, the next aspect is the aspect of love. Now, This particular aspect, I know we had the heart, but the love aspect is like that choosing love in every situation, right? Is it love or is it the absence of love that is present here? This is like seeing no separation between you and another person. We are all the same. Everybody is a mirror reflection of me. This is that complete oneness that takes a long time to get to, right? I forgive them for they know not what they do kind of energy. I understand that we are all just people who are damaged and we're on, our particular journey and path. Now, given the way this is playing out so far, I'm probably not really expecting you to be feeling this way right now. Like, you might be a bit disconnected from this particular. Yeah, so we have setbacks. Then we have lawful. Yeah, so there might be some, like I said something like lawyers or something like that. Okay, then we have guidance. Then we have the Nine of Swords, which is like stress, anxiety, worry. The Temperance, which is great because this is about having patience with the healing process. And the Eight of Swords. Okay. So, setbacks. I just heard restraining order for some of you. I just heard restraining order. This feels like something's hindering you from being able to fully embody this energy, right? We have this lawful card here, which is giving me like cause and effect. It's giving a sense of justice, a sense of karma, right? Like, I am not going to be able to make peace with this until this person is brought down. This person has some sort of justice or retribution for what they've put me through, right? Now this can be like literally there might be a court case that's playing out for you, or this could be more like karmic justice, right? Till this person pays their dues or is recognized for everything that they've put me through. Now we have the guidance card here, which represents that spiritual aspect in the song, right? This song is all about following your intuition, reconnecting with spirit. Spirit is helping to guide you along this part of your journey. Also, I'm just being reminded by my spirit team that this particular song has a line in it which may resonate with you. Yeah, there's a line in it that says, intuition saved my life, right? So you may have had some sort of divine guidance that came in and, helped you to escape this situation. And they're still there. They're still helping you. They're still assisting, right? So you may feel like a great disconnection from whoever, I'm hearing like the perpetrator, right? The perpetrator is the way this is coming through. Now we have the Nine of Swords here, which is about stress, anxiety. How can I possibly move on from this when this plagues my mind, right? I can't sleep because of what's happened to me here. I have nightmares about what this person did to me. Now this particular reading is getting quite deep, right? So then we have the Temperance card, which is about healing. It's about being patient with yourself, right? Don't rush this process. I also feel like you have to have a lot of patience in a particular aspect. So if this is like a court case, it's taken forever. You know what I mean? Something that you have to constantly stress about. I'm waiting for this divorce to go through. I am, it could be like any kind of legalities here. Perhaps you have like some sort of protection order against this person and you're like waiting for it. Like, is this going to run out? Is this going to, what's happening here? Then we have the Eight of Swords, which is interesting because in this Eight of Swords, she is surrounded by swords, almost like it's a cage, right? This is giving me like, for some of you, this is like, I will not rest until this person is behind bars for what they did to me. That's what I'm getting for some of you. For others of you, it is like, I can't rest before knowing that they are not going to do this to somebody else. It's like you're confined by this whole situation, this whole path, and so be patient with yourself. Don't feel as though you need to move into this state of oneness, right? We all get there when the time is right, and I feel that the time is not right for you right now because you're in this constant fight or flight energy still. I would highly recommend, if this is a traumatic situation, that you seek out some more support and guidance, like a counselor, therapist, something like that that can help you unravel some of this stuff and help you better navigate the situation. Wow, this is pile number one. We started off quite heavy. Okay, let me see. What is advice here, please, for those that are resonating? Nine of Wands. I can't give up this fight yet. Right, you're ready to give up. You just want this to be over. This has become a complete burden in your life. We've got the King of Swords here. This also represents the justice system, right? This can represent police. It can represent, you know, somebody in a position of authority, right? Police. It can be like legal advisors. It can be, now it doesn't necessarily have to be, right? This could be somebody who the person you are challenging may have this authority role where it's like they are the judge, jury, executioner, and so there's somebody difficult to go against. It's like, I can't rest and get to a space of oneness and not see the separation between me and them, because I would never do what they have done and they need to be brought down for what it is that they are doing. You're seeking justice here, right? So you're disconnected from this particular pillar. However, I feel like this is where you're at in your journey, and don't try and, like, you don't need to compromise where you're at. Just embrace where it is that you are at. You feel as though you have to be on the defense until this particular thing is taken care of, right? Let's go into the final aspect. Okay, the final aspect is the spirit aspect. This represents your higher consciousness, your connection to your higher wisdom, your higher self. It represents the aspect of spirit guides, ancestors cheering you on, right? Source, right? And whatever that looks like to you. God, yeah, it can also represent different spiritual gifts and things like that, right? Obviously, you are being told at this time with the song to listen to your intuition. However, this feels as though when I look at the song and everything that you've been through, your intuition is guiding you through survival. You are supported by your spirit team. That has already come out, that you have been supported by your spirit team throughout this journey. I want to say in your escape from this situation. All right, let's go and look at the cards. So we have victim mentality, glamorous, Two of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is the psychic, the clairvoyant, the intuitive, the all-knowing, right? Okay. So that means that something exists here, right? So you're not completely closed off from this. However, this victim mentality, right? This is what, so in order to open up more of your intuition and your connection to the divine and your higher consciousness, you will have to release this part of yourself, right? We have the Two of Wands here. That is, like, there is no question, before I continue, there is no question that you have been a victim in a situation, a victim of circumstance, a victim of whatever it is that you have experienced here. You are 100% have been victimized in a situation. There's no doubt about that. So I'm not minimizing your situation at all. This is about choosing a new path, choosing a path to the divine. Now, your guides are there with you. They are leading, they are protecting you. However, if you want to build a closer relationship to them, they want you to know that it's going to take a high level of investment. I feel like the curiosity is there. You want to invest this pentacle more to lean toward your spiritual path. However, you are going to have, there's a lot of shedding, releasing, and it's going to mean that you are no longer going to be able to see yourself as a victim in a situation, that you're going to have to shed this part of yourself. Now, the good side of that is that it unravels these defensive mechanisms that you have, right, within your truth of what has become your truth, right? However, this part of the journey, it's going to feel as though you are somewhat defenseless, right? It's a trust fall with the universe. And Spirit understands, your guides, your ancestors, they understand that it might take some time for you to answer this call, for you to lean more toward the spiritual path. because right now you are in a state of survival, especially until whatever was happening here plays out and this person receives some sort of justice for what's happened. You may take your time. However, they are guiding you with signs. I feel like in regards to the spiritual path, they don't want you to be naive, right? Because we have this card here that says glamorous, right? It may feel glamorous to be guided by spirit and all this kind of thing, but it's the closer you get to spirit, the more that you are asked to shed and asked to release. And it's going to be difficult to release all of these boundaries and walls and this aspect within you that makes you feel as though I need to fight till the death, right? It's like, it's going to be a challenge, right? To get really very close to spirit from where you currently are, right? However, I'm really drawn toward this book, right, in this image. So I would highly recommend you to begin reading like spiritual books, like dipping your toe in or making baby steps, right? Still holding on to your pentacle here, not making a full level of investment. Seeing if this is really for you. Finding books that resonate with you on a deeper level that allow you to release more of this victim stage and, you know, lean more toward becoming a survivor of what it is that you've been through. Start to embrace that part of your journey. Yeah, clarified by the Four of Wands and the Sun. There's so much here waiting for you when you are ready. You are in a rest phase with the Four of Swords. This is like the renewal stage. You maybe want to connect through meditation and things like that. You are in a space of solitude where you are ready to gather your thoughts. And in this space of solitude, thank you, this is where spirit will come through to you in inspirations, in signs, in synchronicities, when you're not preoccupied with all of the chaos that is going on around you. This is how they best get through to you. Where you are in that initial image, we had her like lying in the bath, relaxing. So the more of these relaxing practices that you can do, the more that spirit will be able to come closer to nurture, right? When you are not feeling as though you are constantly guarded in defense mode, when is the next attack coming? When is this going to be over? When, you know, this kind of thing. The more that you can, with this sun energy here, when you can embrace your joy, do things that light you up, when you are dancing around the lounge room or whatever, or the kitchen, and you are living, you know, authentically in spaces of joy, when you can connect with this part of yourself, that is when spirit will shine through, where they will send you a song on your playlist that randomly comes on that speaks to your soul, right? This is like, we are here, we are whispering. We are not coming in too loud. We are whispering. Explore texts that resonate with you, whether this be like, you know, sacred texts such as like the Bible or things like that that resonate with you, whether it be, you know, more esoteric practices, whatever it is that makes you feel closer and more connected. Start there, right? Start there. I'm hearing something's being extracted. Yeah, it's like you're in the extraction phase where everything's sort of purging and coming out, and you're still finding your feet within your 3D reality. So drifting too far close to spirit right now may not be the best option for you, just because of everything that you have. You need to ground yourself in this reality while this is still playing out, okay? Now, we have the thorns. If you watched the intro, you will know the thorns. Okay, what are your thorns? So the first thorn that we have here for you is exploitative and communication, clarified by the Five of Wands. These people are like competing, challenging each other, battling, a battle of egos, right? The Hanged Man and the Knight of Cups. Great. Okay, so your first thorn is that people have challenged you, right? You've been in a space where it seems like wherever you go, people are trying to serve their own self-interest, right? So it feels like you have to fight them, you have to challenge them because they're consistently challenging you. So if this person hurts me or does something to challenge me, I have to fight back. There's this fire within you that you are not going to be a victim, right? However, it's still keeping you in this victim space, right? I am under attack. I have not deserved this, this kind of thing. Now, the thorn is that you have to choose when the struggle is over, right? This is one of the biggest challenges that you are going to face in your healing journey. You have to decide when you surrender, when you give up the fight, when you say, I'm no longer going to engage in this. Now, this hanged man looks like almost like a fish on a hook, right? So you're going to feel quite vulnerable within this space. You're going to feel like, well, now it just feels as though I'm just giving in to these people's attacks and I'm letting them win and I'm letting them one up me, right? This is the space in where they potentially take advantage, right, of me in this situation. I don't feel like I can surrender. I feel like I need to fight. So this is one of your biggest thorns. Then we have the Knight of Cups. Now this is someone coming in, which is interesting because I had that as well with like supportive networks, a team of people coming in to assist you, to aid you. Spirit is sending help, but this is giving me that they are sending help in the physical. They're not just sending like intuitive guidance. They are sending like an earth angel that's coming to assist you in this situation, that can help you and see you and come from a place of Knight of Cups is like, comes from a place of understanding is not like scared off by your warrior mentality and the fact that you're ready to fight, right? They embrace all aspects of you. Now this could be like a lover for some of you, like a knight in shining armor that is coming to nurture your wounds and understand where it is that you're coming from. Let me see. Show me more about this energy, please. I just heard this Knight of Cups is coming to nurture. So like I said, if you've escaped a dangerous situation, could be like some sort of organization that comes out and says, hey, we can help you here. We can help support you during this time. But this is when you surrender. This is somebody who prevents you from going back into the same cycle. Wow, the World card in reverse and the Eight of Cups in the reverse. This is somebody who comes in and says, you know what, you're absolutely right. There is no emotional fulfillment for you in this previous cycle, and we're going to build something else. This person comes through and says you have absolutely everything that it takes in order to manifest a new reality for yourself. This is like cheerleader type energy, right? Now when this person comes in, Four of Cups, you might not be interested. I don't need a cheerleader right now. I've got this fight on my own, right? So just be mindful of that a little bit discontent with this person coming in and trying to assist. I don't want your help, right? In this image of the Four of Cups, there's like these cups that are down here. She's dissatisfied with the cups that she's been dealt. Now there's another cup that has been handed from Spirit here. Here's a cup of love, and she's like, it's fine. These cups were shitty anyway, so why is that fourth one going to be any better, right? Okay, let's have a look at your final thorn. So here we have harboring. Yeah, this is harboring the resentments of the past, right? Okay, we have independent. We have the Five of Pentacles. This is somebody who is down on their luck, who has been discarded. She has like no shoes on, right? She's out in the cold. She has no shoes on. Her bowl is empty. Then we have the Emperor. This is somebody who is in a space of control, right? Which is interesting because I feel like this is what you've been dealing with. Whether this is a boss, whether this is, a controlling partner or something like that. Ten of Swords. Look at her. All those swords in her back, laying there wounded. When will this be over? And the Lover's card. So let's have a little bit of a deeper look at this final thorn. So we've got harboring, which talks about holding on to grudges, harboring resentments. Yeah, I understand where you're at. How can I move past this until this person gets what's coming to them, right? We already talked about that. You are struggling to regain your own independence. Now, as I look at these two energies, right? If you think of this as like the Emperor rules the kingdom, he's sitting lavishly, he's got all the resources and things like that. This person is like a beggar left with nothing, right? This is where you are in this space of things, right? Somebody else has all the control. You know, potentially you're worried about leaving the situation with nothing, with no justice here. If this is like, say, a divorce settlement or something like that you're going through, what if I'm left with nothing? You know, what if this person continues to sit on their throne, just controlling everything, and I get nothing? Now, there's still a softness about her though, right? I feel like if something was to happen to this emperor, she would offer him what is in her bowl, right? You're not completely disconnected from your heart space. Yeah, this energy is giving me, despite everything that I've been through and all that I've suffered through and all these swords that have been plunged into me, my heart still beats, right? My heart still beats. Beautiful energy. The Lover's card. Will I find love again? Will I be able to trust again? Will I be able to be vulnerable again, right? Also, I'm really drawn to the fact like these are like angels, like angelic realm with the wings there in these two lovers. Let me clarify this energy. This is like regaining your independence while not losing that softness in your heart space. So you're worried. One of the thorns is about finding happiness again, finding another blissful, harmonious connection, relationship, or space for you, right? If this is a new job, this is another space that lights you up. There's a lack of trust within your energy, right? I don't want to repeat any foolish mistakes that I've made in the past. I don't want to do all this work for nothing in regards to your healing journey, right? This is the thorn in your side. Now, let me get one more for a final roundup of advice for those who chose pile number 1. So this one says dynamic. Beautiful. So this journey is going to push you beyond your limits, right? Your healing journey. You're being asked to confront challenges, right? Not only the challenges that are currently facing you in regards to this continuing to play out and hasn't really finished yet. And, you know, it's going to be like, you're going to be asked to get out of your comfort zone, to climb hills, overcome, like I'm saying, like a mountain. You still got like a mountain to climb, right? However, this is like actually like really just digging in the nails to climb that mountain. Now, there's people coming in, there's people coming in to find solutions to the problems that you currently face in regards to this hindrance along your journey. People who have new ideas, new approaches. You could approach it from this way. And I feel like that's, you know, like, how do we create something while not ruffling any feathers or not upsetting the status quo or creating more conflict, more drama within your life? It's like you no longer want this drama, right? But then you're coming out as like this combative type energy, like where you feel as though you have to fight. So when you are like that, when you embody that energy of I'm ready to fight if need be and I will fight to the death, this attracts more drama into your life, right? So it's a releasing of this kind of energy, right? This is not going to happen overnight. You've still got quite a ways to go. The healing never ends for any of us. And if you want to see an example of that, watch the rest of the piles, right? They're all going to be the same. It never ends. We just reach higher frequencies. There's going to be times where you will dip your toe in and out of the healing pond, right? This doesn't feel like a full level commitment that you are facing. It feels like at times you're going to feel as though you got the short end of the stick, right? Now, when you are in that space, don't feel as though you need to combat that energy with this toughness, right? Accept like the vulnerable spaces that you go into. Like, it's okay to appear vulnerable. However, I can see that that's an area in which you don't want to feel vulnerable. You want to feel like you have built yourself up and you are a warrior and all this type of thing. Again, engage with spirit by reading certain books, finding stillness in the bath, in meditation, whatever it is. Just try and find moments of quiet so they can send you their inspirations on what to do next. Listen to the songs that they are sending you when you are in that joyful space of just dancing around and just feeling yourself and getting back into the vibes. Much love to you. Leave me a comment if this reading resonated with you. If you would like to book a private reading with me, link is in the description box. Hello, my loves, to those of you who chose a pole number 2. First of all, the song that I channeled for you was Bring Me to Life by Evanescence. That song is the reflection of your own healing journey. It is going to be linked in the description box if you would like to listen to the song. Now, first of all, before we begin, if you watched the intro, you will know where we're at, but I'm going to start off with the rose, right, which represents the entire healing journey, where you're at, what's unraveling, right? This is the energy surrounding that. Now, I asked Spirit for one card representing where you're at on your healing journey, and you got 4, right? Before I even look, I know that your specific journey is complex, right? It contains a lot of complexities. Now, let's go into this energy. So the first card that I've drawn for you is the Breathing Rose, and this one actually came out in reverse, and I wasn't going to take reversals, but I was guided to specifically take this one in the reverse, right? So this one says heart healing, emotions, connection, and time eases, right? Now this is about going into the heart space here. However, I feel as though it's like the Breathing Rose. It's like, I feel like you need to stop and just breathe. Like take a breath. Like you're not necessarily ready to throw everything into your healing journey right now, right? I feel like you are a little afraid about engaging fully into your heart space. Like you're afraid of what you might find there, right? Because when I look at this image, it's like, it's got the rose there, but it's almost like the petals are like taking over so much space and like bleeding out into the heart space. So it's like there might be a lot of trauma here. The next card that we have is the Grandmothers. Now this card says, remember your roots, perspective, and trust the weavings. This tells me about your journey, your healing journey, that it's not just you're healing. You may not want to hear this, but it is you're healing ancestral trauma, right? It runs deep. Like you're healing patterns that existed not just within your reality, but can be traced back through your ancestry, right? Your mother, your mother's mother, right? If it's specifically the feminine that's being healed here, but it's like you're healing patterns that you have faced since childhood, but they run so much deeper. Now, the thing about this, you know, it sometimes doesn't seem fair, but you're the cycle breaker in a sense, right? You are the one who integrates the lessons, who carries the pain and the trauma for your whole lineage of women or people that came before you, right? Then we have the come to me energy, right? Now, this energy was giving me it's like, I feel like you're trying to manifest from the space that you're at. You're trying to force a manifestation, because I kept being drawn back to this Breathing Rose card, right? You are manifesting from pain right now. So you are like, when is this going to show up for me? I feel like you are in this magnetizing energy, right? Because this says attracting like a rose, receiving abundance and desires. And I feel like you are in this great attraction energy. However, without first going back and healing the wounds in the heart space, what is it that you are manifesting within your reality? It's like, slow down a bit, like try and do some of this remembering of who it is that you are before, because this is giving like forcing manifestation. So whether you engage in rituals, spell work, for some of you, you may just be into manifestation, or it's like trying to force positive things or force your manifestations to come in. And I feel as though you might be exhausting yourself in this space. Like, this is just the way it's coming through to me. Then we have finally After the Rain. This one says silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, and acceptance. This card says to me that the worst of your journey is over, but I feel as though there's something in your heart space that doesn't quite believe that, right? It's like you want to believe that the worst of this is over, that the storm has passed, that, you know, the healing is still going to be difficult. However, how it appears in your external reality is coming through as like you've made it through the eye of the storm. However, you know, sometimes the rain is heavier on the outside of the storm. Do you know what I mean? Like where the rain is pelting down. Okay, let's go into your aspects. Okay, so the first aspect that we're going to look at is your mind, right? Where is your focus right now? What is your strategy? What is consuming your thought process in regards to your healing journey, right? So here we have filthy. Okay, so the first card we have is filthy and deserting. So that's interesting. Then we have the Tower. It's like almost like you're expecting a shake-up, right? You expect things to come crumbling down. The Death card in the reverse. And the Page of Swords. Okay, let's have a look at what is consuming your thought process. So we have filthy first. I'm just going to get some more cards to clarify as we go. This is interesting because this energy is giving me like tainted, right? Like as if you feel as though your experience at times is tainted. We have deserting. This card says leaving without explanation. So I feel as though people have left you or somebody left you in a situation with the Tower there. It's like it was unexpected, or you feel as though this is like a pattern, a cycle that keeps playing out, right? Whether somebody ended a relationship, somebody withdrew their investment in you. And so there's part of you that is resisting what has happened here, this shift, the Death card, rather than leaning into it. This is like the card of transformation, of embracing new endings, so that new beginnings. But it's like you're clinging to what happened here, this destruction, this Tower event that happened within your past, right? Where you felt this is an abandonment wound, is the way that this is coming through. Now we have this Page of Swords here. The Page of Swords indicates curiosity, finding out information. It's like you want to know why this happened. You're trying to uncover the patterns of why this consistently keeps happening, why people keep leaving you, why, like, you know, say for example, somebody ended a relationship with you. This is like, did they leave me for somebody else? Is there something that I did wrong? Is it, it's like your mind is like curious, consistently curious about why this is happening. Okay, let me clarify this energy, please. Yeah, before this holds me back, right? Until I can uncover why this cycle keeps playing out, why this keeps happening, and perhaps you are going deep into your ancestral lineage and working out what's happened to, you know, like trying to break the pattern. It's like this is consuming your thought process. It's like, but it's like it's not like trying to find a silver lining or the lesson within it. It's replaying the way this is coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if I get the Nine of Swords come out here. You're ready to forgive. However, you need answers first, right? I can't move on from this. I can't recover from this Tower, this situation that completely shook my foundation until I get information, more answers, until, so you're very logical, right? You're more of a logical, more than like feeling into things. So this is like, I need to understand it before I can move on from it. Okay. Now I feel as though I want to say that this might be keeping you a little stuck, right? A little stuck in the previous cycle, just constantly replaying this. Why did this happen? What, you know, could this have gone another way? Should this have been different? Why didn't I do it this way? Or why didn't this happen? Or I need to, it's like, I'm just feeling this like persistent urge to gain a deeper level of understanding of what's happening here, why this has happened. Okay. So then we go into, what was the next one? The heart, right? Now this is about living from an open heart space. This is just, it's a very trusting energy, right? That is important that we integrate along our healing journey. It allows us to face situations with compassion and just be trusting and just live a very heart-centered existence, right? So let's have a look at this energy. You got so many cards here. I feel like your pile is going to be a bit long. Okay, let's have a look. We have setbacks, guidance, expression, relaxation. Then clarifying those, we have the strength card. which is good in this particular area. We've got the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse and the Eight of Swords. Okay, so first of all, we have setbacks, right? I feel like you're in a space where you sort of have a bit of a lack of direction, so it's hard to trust, right? Whenever I trust, things don't work out and I'm consistently facing setbacks, right? It feels as though you have to like work something out. Like if things aren't working out for me, I have to find another way. I have to work it out. So I can't just like fully give up trust to the universe because that hasn't previously worked out for me, right? Now, but with this Strength card here, this is like, it's giving a softening, right? She has to soften herself in order to tame the beast, to tame the lion within herself. So it's like you're really actually trying to connect in some way, to find a deeper meaning, a deeper connection in regards to universe and things like that. You're trying to express, thank you. You're trying to express what is on your heart, whether you do this through like journaling, writing. It's like there's some sort of emotional self-expression. You're not so much reaching out for guidance from spirit, but you are looking internally to find your own self-expression, right? Because the next card that we have here is expression. So whether you do that through music, through writing, or channeling your feelings in some way, it's like you're got a deep connection to your higher self. It's like you're actually really trying to live a more in flow life, right? And follow your bliss and follow what makes you happy. Now, the next card that we have is relaxation, which says like taking a break. And I feel like that was the initial energy that came out, right? Allow yourself time to breathe. If you are in a creative field, don't feel like you need to constantly be creating. If you've had like a huge tower shake-up in your life, we've got the Nine of Pentacles here in the reverse. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is somebody who is financially secure, who is abundant, has a lot going on financially, can take care of herself, and doesn't need another person. However, within your energy, Eight of Swords, you're seeing this as a restriction in your path, right? I feel like I'm restricted right now because I don't have the resources, or I'm not at the top of my game or where I need to be in regards to my own journey. I feel like I want the support of somebody else, yet I'm left doing this on my own. This is like not, you're on your own, but not in an empowered space of being alone, but more so like, why do I have to do all this on my own? I shouldn't have to be doing this on my own. There should be somebody here with me. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. Yeah, you so want to bring a new level of softness, but because you've got so many responsibilities, you've got so much to do, right? So this is what disconnects you from this heart space. It's like, it's all well and good to be connected to my heart space and living in flow and harmony, but when I've got bills to pay and I've got, work that I've got to do, and I've got to pull myself in all different directions with the lack of support, like, that's the truth. That's the reality of the situation is coming through in your energy. It seems like it's giving the energy of you can talk about like you can talk about all love and light and living in flow and all that kind of thing, but what about all these constant challenges I'm facing? Like, I'm living in the 3D. I'm not living up here in this 5D reality. I feel like you're a little sassy, right? I can feel this in your energy. It's like, I'm living in the real. I'm not living in the delusion of what is possible and potential, of just waiting for the universe to just guide me to where it is that I need to go. Now that this is where you're currently at, however, you do have the Page of Cups here, right? Which is about that. You would love to be in that energy. You would love to be an idealist, right? You would love to be just living in this, fairy tale of, I just trust and I commit myself to the path and all this sort of stuff. But now you like, the path is hard. The path is all windy and I have to be in my right mind to be able to navigate it, right? Okay, beautiful. All right, so the next aspect that we have is truth. Now, the truth aspect represents living in alignment in your truth, speaking like up for yourself, like this kind of thing. Okay, so we have the fortune teller, revelations, and imbalance. Okay. So this is interesting. Then we have the Lovers in the reverse, the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, and the Three of Cups. So this fortune teller energy, right? This is like, I know what happens next. I can predict the future based on the consistent cycle that continues to play out. Now, with you specifically, I did get a lot of that ancestral stuff coming up as well. So not only has it played out in your life, but you've seen it play out in the generations previously. You're like, I know what happens next. I can predict what's going to happen here. I see the patterns. I recognize, what's going on here. I recognize that it doesn't matter what I do, I'm just going to be disconnected and abandoned in this energy. We have revelations. This is like upheaval. So it's like you predict that everything's going to fall apart. Within this card, we have her leaving a burning building. I understand that whatever I build here is going to be burned to the ground, and I'm just going to have to just walk out of it unscathed, as I always do. Now, you have embodied this energy as your truth. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here in the reverse. This is like, I recognize, even when I feel like something's working out for me and I'm on a lucky streak, the universe just comes and sweeps it out from underneath me, right? So there's a little bit of pessimism within your energy, I must say. Then we have imbalance. So this one represents imbalance within relationships. So this is like, this is people pulling the rug out from under you. This is people with hidden motives, people who are, they lie about things, they cheat, they always like, this is like catfishing energy. This doesn't have to be just a love thing, right? This could be like family relationships. They keep secrets from me. They, pretend to be something that they're not. They always have like hidden intentions or hidden motives, but yet on the surface, Three of Cups, they appear like, we're great, things are good over here, we're vibing, we're great friends. So I feel like this card represents friendship as well. So I feel like this same energy is played out within your friendships. So you're guarded, right? You're waiting for the eruption, right? You've taken this on as your truth, as, I know this happens because I've experienced it time and time again. This is my life. This is my karmic contract kind of energy. Yeah, I feel like, you got the Ten of Wands here again. So in the reverse, this is taking a break. This is like, you're carrying the burden of all the times that this same situation has played out before. But then you get back up and you try and remain optimistic. With the Chariot there, you're like, well, I'm just going to move forward anyway. This person wasn't truly my friend. This person didn't truly have my back. This person was, texting girls or, whatever behind my back, or, it's just, I'll just push on. I am resilient is in your energy because you have the Nine of Wands here, right? It's another test of my faith. Your energy is like coming through really like, I'll keep pushing, right? I'm not giving up. However, this is bullshit. Is the way this is coming through. I'm not laughing at you. I'm sorry. Ten of Swords. I will keep pushing through until this inevitably comes to a dramatic ending and I'm stabbed in the back once again. I'm betrayed and, it hasn't taken me out yet, is the energy. Now this is going on in your truth. Okay, so we're getting a bit of pessimism, like I said. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The next one is your love energy. Now, I know we had heart energy already, but the love energy is a little bit different. The love energy represents the connection between us and other people, that there is no separation. This is living in a space of everyone that I encounter is a mirror reflection of me and is reflecting something back at me. I forgive them because they are just being human. They're here having a human experience. They know not what they do. This kind of energy. So let's see how you're feeling in regards to this. This is like no separation between us and them. We are the same. I'm scared to look. I feel like you're just like a realist, right? That's what the energy's giving. I'm a realist. I don't live in the fantasy of, everybody can come together and sing kumbayas. So we have high class, bliss, insatiable, Oh, you got a lot for this one. Overthinking, reputation. I need to create more space. Then we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. This is like somebody withdrawing love offer, right? So this makes a lot of sense in regards to your abandonment wound. Queen of Cups. Ten of Wands. It's giving like, this is my burden to carry. Queen of Wands. Okay. So you've got a lot going on here, so bear with me, right? High class. This would indicate to me, right, this is giving this Queen of Wands energy. This is like, I know my worth. I know I am worth more than this. You don't, like, you're not in a space where you think that you are a victim necessarily, or that you are just destined to attract, like, you're like, why am I attracting these low-class idiots, right? Because you're in a space where you're like, you're recognizing your worth. You are feeling confident in who it is that you are. You know you don't deserve this. You know that you're gaining higher standards for yourself, right? Which is interesting. You can see when people are not who they say that they are. It's like you're very intuitive, right? You're learning to read between the lines. Interesting. Okay, so then we have bliss. Ace of Cups. So part of you is open to new love, to new experiences, to new friendships. So it's interesting because this hasn't closed you off, right? Regardless of the fact that so many people have come in, give you their cup, played with your heart, and then withdrawn their offer, you remain open. Queen of Cups, which is beautiful. So you don't necessarily act from a space of recognizing that the people have wronged you are the same. You're trying to gain a deeper, like we said in the first one, in your mind, you're trying to gain a deeper level of understanding of why they've rejected you. You understand that it could be their own wounds. So in this space, you're not completely disconnected from understanding that people are on their own journey. You understand that they have like this insatiable attitude that other people will one up other people and throw other people under the bus. You recognize that we do that as a human species, that they get what they, they take what they want from people and then they just discard them. You understand that humans are like this because you've experienced it. 10 of Wands. You've been through this cycle again and again and again. You carry in all these sticks. You must have learned, like, you've obviously learned something in this process. And you also understand that it's not about you, right? You have deep compassion and empathy for people who feel as though they are in this state of survival and that they need to discard other people and throw people under the bus for something that they seem like they feel is better. You understand that people behave like human beings, behave in a way that is for their best success in a situation. What's going to get them ahead? What's going to create them the best opportunities? What's going to advance themselves, right? This is the ego. You have a deep level of understanding for the human ego. Okay. That's very interesting. Let's go a little bit deeper into this. And you understand it because of how many wands you've had to carry, how many times you've learned this lesson. Because you have evidence of it. So this is what you're working through right now. With that first group of understanding, you're trying to rationalize it in your mind. You understand your own worth. You are open to meeting somebody who is in alignment with you. You understand that you're probably going to meet somebody else who's going to put you through the same experience that you've previously experienced. It's like you're not bitter about it. You're not bitter about it. However, it feels like it catches you off guard every time. My ears are ringing so loud right now. Okay. You recognize that people will leave a situation in where they feel unfulfilled or like they're not getting what it is that they need from that situation the same way as you will. So you see a reflection of other people within that. However, sometimes with this Queen of Cups, I feel like you stay a little too long when you realize that there's nothing left in your cup, that you're completely depleted. Your energy is saying maybe they had the balls to leave where I didn't, where I continued to give to this situation. Now, you've got, like, what's this delay energy? Is this delay? What is this delay? So you're actually learning from these people who are a reflection of you. You understand that they're a reflection of you. These people that are leaving are reflecting a wound in which you stay in situations with people when you know intuitively, because you are highly intuitive, that the time is up, that there's nothing else that you have to gain in this space, that this person is using you for what they can get. You see right through them. However, you stay. You are loyal. You are devoted. You continue to give to spaces where you are not appreciated. And then when this person feels as though they're not getting what it is that they need, they just up and leave. And the wound here is, I wish I could do that. I wish I could have done that. Why do I have to continue to be so compassionate and supportive to people who are not giving me that in return? Okay. Yeah, yeah, Six of Swords. Why can't I leave? I should have left a long time ago. So this feels like a wound of self, right? So once you learn to embrace this wound within you of yourself, forgive yourself for, not following your intuition. When your intuition's been screaming at you that this is not it, sis, right? Or bro, or whatever. This is misaligned. You have to start listening to that voice that says, this is misaligned. If you meet somebody and it's a friend and they're constantly gossiping about other people, and you sit there with the thought of, well, this person just talks shit about everyone else all day long to me, and I know that they're doing that behind my back. Honey, that's your sign. It's misaligned. Withdraw from that person. Don't sit around and wait for that person to do it to you. If you are connecting with somebody who was already in a relationship when you got together, and then they decided to leave their partner for you, then they, that's a sign about how loyal they are within connections. Don't then wait for that person to cheat on you and pull the wool out from underneath you, because you already know this person is unavailable and then, disloyal. Okay, let's go into the final aspect. Okay, so this is the aspect of spirit, right? This talks about the aspect that connects us to the spirit realm, allows us to connect in with our guides, our higher selves. It is the connection to God, connection to spirit, connection to whatever, right? It's the higher consciousness. So let's see where you are in regards to this aspect. The first card that I've drawn is limited access, misuse of information, over idealism, Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Hermit. Interesting. So you're a bit of a skeptic, which is interesting because you are here, right? You have limited access to the spirit realm, right? Through a choice of your own. You don't rely on... So I don't necessarily think that you're somebody who takes a lot of time to reach out to spirit, that you are somebody who prays or, feels like you need an outside source in order to navigate your situation. Perhaps that's because you've been on your knees before and you didn't feel that level of support. You feel like people use spirituality in order to manipulate other people to do what it is, which is very interesting because you're here. You're very discerning of people who are spiritual. You're wary. You will investigate or spend a lot of energy around a, prophet, or, you don't necessarily believe, I don't know. I don't know if that exists. I don't know if I believe in that, right? This person's full of shit, basically. You may think that about me. You probably listen to this reading. If you've reached it to here, you're like, yeah, fuck off, Gypsy. You don't know what you're talking about, right? Okay. That's not a bad way. You're logical, you're rational, right? You're not going to get lost in the potential of a high power who may or may not come in to support you along your journey. You think people give too much of their energy to the spirit realm, and that belief systems in people lead to their own disillusionment along their path, right? That people are delusional. Yeah. I feel like you could be a bit more open-minded in this area, right? You feel like spirituality is for people who have like a complete loss of direction. Interesting. Okay, so, Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is about creating a new path, creating new opportunities, right? This is interesting. So you are open to in the sense that if my spirit guides, the universe wants to send me an opportunity, I will absolutely take that path, right? But most of the opportunities that I have in my life, I've created for myself. Then we have Temperance, which is the angelic, right? It's that angelic healing. Now, I want to say to you, your angels are here supporting you along your journey, spirit guides, whether you like it or not, right? Whether you believe it or not, they are still here supporting you in the healing process, helping you to learn lessons. However, the Hermit represents that most of the answers, you don't seek outside of yourself, you'll go within. If you can make some time for yourself, go in, unravel your thoughts, look at your experience from another perspective, eventually you will come out the other side having found your answers. You don't need to rely on these outside I'm getting like woo-woo kind of like, you know, these people are crazy. Some of these people are crazy. Gypsy, she's crazy. She's out here like, you know, I don't know what she's talking about half the time. But yeah, here I am. That's okay. Just take what you want from it. If something resonates, fine. If it doesn't, just put it aside. Cast it aside, right? You may have been like perhaps you felt like you were manipulated by a specific guru or, you know, a church or something like that, right? There's something within your energy that's like, I feel like it's very idyllic and it doesn't, like, it's not grounded in reality. Okay, let me see anything else. Yeah, so you got the Page of Pentacles here. So you are a manifester, but you don't manifest necessarily by giving everything up to spirit or waiting for an opportunity to come your way. You will create the opportunity, because whenever you've asked for outside guidance, it hasn't come like in the way that you wanted to. You're left disappointed. There might be, yeah, like I said, there might be some form of like spiritual trauma here. Yeah, the Chariot in reverse. It's a lack of movement in regards to your support, all right? Network. So you haven't necessarily seen that much of a presence of God in your existence. You haven't necessarily had angels swoop in and guide you out of a situation. So you had to get yourself out of it, right? How have they showed up in my life? How have they supported me? I get it, babe. I get it. Yeah, it's all very confusing. I work best when I make things happen. Now, this was that in that initial rose energy, you had this like forcing. You're forcing things. You're forcing your manifestations. Now, I know you may be like a little closed off to this idea, right? Because I can see within your energy that you are resistant. But try and think of it as not that you're waiting for the universe to step in and guide you out of the situation, that you are co-creating your manifestations with spirit. Don't force so hard your manifestations, but rather, you know, put your manifestations out there, make steps toward it. However, allow space for the universe to step in and help align you with your manifestations. Create opportunities rather than going, that's not exactly what I wanted. That didn't work out the way that I wanted, right? This pessimistic attitude. It feels like okay, so something here where whenever you have invited spirit closer within your realm, it caused chaos, or it was disruptive, or it created more confusion or miscommunication, or you felt as though, yeah, there's something like, there's some sort of spiritual, and it's going to be different for all of you, right? But there's some sort of like spiritual experience that happened to you where you were like, I don't, like, that didn't help me, right? Now, let's go into your thorns. If you watched the intro of this video, you will know that the thorns represent those thorns in our side along the healing journey. Let's have a look into yours. So the first thorn, well, that one's sideways. Okay. The first thorn that you have is lawful, and self-reflection. Now you've got the Empress in the sideways, so it's not in the reverse and it's not upright. Then we have Judgment and the King of Cups. Okay, let's see. So one of the thorns in your side is that it's hard for you to lean into the spirit realm, right? You need like structure, you need guidance. You connect to spirit in a different kind of way, right? You heal in a different kind of way. You heal upon self-reflection. Like, I am going to find these answers within myself to find the best outcome or solution here, right? You are not afraid to look at yourself, which is fantastic. However, I feel like your connection is very structured, right? Then we have the, like, you probably benefit from being a little more flexible and open to new ideas. However, you don't need to take on ideas of other people, only if it deeply resonates. If you feel something within your heart space when you are, you know, watching tarot or doing some sort of spiritual practice, then that's it. That's it. That's what you're looking for. It's not like it resonates deeply, like, sometimes, yeah, it does resonate deeply on an intellectual level and it opens up a different way of thinking. But, you know, if you're questioning it, if it doesn't feel right, just click off, you know? So we have the Empress in the sideways. Now, the Empress is that receiving energy, right? We talked about this in the initial stage of your reading, where you are in an energy of receiving abundance and everything that it is that you need, right? You are willing to nurture those around you. When she comes out in the reverse, this is like doing it for selfish reasons. This is like serving your own self-interest. Now, because you have this belief system that other people are consistently serving their own self-interest, it cuts off your ability to be in full Empress mode and able to receive. You may feel as though you're selfish in certain aspects. Now we have Judgment and the King of Cups. Show me this energy, please. So there's this frequency within your energy that wants everything to be fair, right? And balanced. So you feel some type of way if things work out, or a judgment's made against you, or people make judgments about you, or something doesn't work out in your favor and you feel like scorned by it. Like, this wasn't fair. Life is not fair coming out within your energy. You know, this was supposed to be my happily ever after and it left me discontent in unhappiness. It's like everything got turned upside down. And so now I have to be this like hyper vigilant person who is always worried about the worst case scenario. Like, you've got this life is not fair, you know, so it's like I have to be very discerning about who I engage with and the way that I express my energy, because people are here to take advantage. Okay, let's have a look at your other thorn. Okay, so first of all, we have the Speed Demon, right? This is that energy of trying to rush your manifestations, trying to rush your healing process. Like, I want it and I want it now. I don't want to wait for the universe to bring it. I will make it happen. On to the next thing, right? You're becoming quite impatient in regards to your healing journey. Then we have Security, and we have the Hierophant and the Devil. Wow. We just got tingles all over. So this is talking about your belief systems, right? This can be like I picked up before. Perhaps you have some sort of, for some of you, some sort of spiritual trauma, where, you know, something happened within the church, or something happened when you were younger, or you had a negative spiritual experience, or, you know, you followed. You know, it could even be like a psychic told you something really scary that was like really awful and it left you in a state of fear. It's like there's some sort of resistance there in regards to your spirituality, right? However that looks for you. You might fear the presence of God, or, you know, this kind of thing. This is this is like being distrusting in the process in faith, right? That somebody's trying to trick you. I feel like you're very rigid in your beliefs, right? So say, for example, you had a negative experience in regards to something spiritual, or it's like very rigid in the way that you look at things, right? So if you are, for example, skeptical, I think that this seems to be like a learned behavior. about the spirit world, if you are skeptical in that sense. And that's a good way to be, because we're learning not to fully trust what everyone says, to be discerning about people. I feel like you're discerning in many aspects here, but you could be a little bit more flexible. What Spirit is coming through saying here is that you can have guidance along your journey. You don't have to do this alone. However, you are defensive against inviting certain things in, certain energies, certain supportive frequencies, you know, the healing of angels and all that sort of thing. So you would need to be a little bit more flexible in this area should you want to walk closer with the spirit realm in your healing journey. Let me just see, is there any final advice for those who selected pile number 2? Exploitative. Yeah, you feel as though people take advantage of you, and you probably and that includes spiritual people, you know, you're not easily trusting. You feel like other people are opportunists, that they will drain your resources, that they will drain your energy, be it friends, family members, whether it be lovers, whether it be someone like me, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, Gypsy's out here, this is just an example, like Gypsy's out here doing this because she wants something from me, you know? She wants my loyal following, or she wants finances from me, she wants me to book a reading or whatever. And so you understand that some people use their power to harm others, and you always got your guard up, or you're always looking for clues as to, you know, why people may be doing that. You feel like you won't be easily exploited, and you feel as though other people don't always have the best of intentions. Much love to you, pile number 2. If you would like to book a private reading with me, link is in the comment section. Hello, for those of you who chose pile number 3. So, first of all, I did channel a song for you, and the song is called Back Home by Lil Sis. Now, I will find a link for this song, and I will pop it in the description box of this video, so I suggest you go and listen to it and see if that song resonates deeply with you and your healing journey. Now, in this song, she talks about the fact that everyone around, she feels very isolated in her healing journey, like she's misunderstood by so many people, and she would love to take everyone around along with her, but she seems like she has a lack of support from those around her. Yeah, it's an interesting song. Okay, so first of all, we are going into your rose energy. If you watched the intro, you will know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, you'll probably figure it out. So the rose represents the energy surrounding your entire healing journey. So first of all, I have chosen the Mystic Rose as your first card. Now, this card is very interesting. Now, as I was connecting in with this particular card, I drew this for one of the other piles, but I got a different message for you. Like, this seems as though you are fully, it's giving the energy of devotion. Actually, I've just noticed it does say devotion at the bottom of this card. It says compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. So you're on a path of like living the healing path. So you may actually be some sort of healer that helps to heal others along their journey. You are like deep in it, right? You are deep within the journey and so committed to the path. Like, this is almost like your healing path is more of like, it's not just a healing path, it's a sacred initiation. Like, this is like part of your soul contract. It goes deeper than that, right? You are transmuting your pain into purpose, right? Whether you are, you know, in this particular song, she talks about, she's obviously an artist, right? She's a singer, so she's putting her pain into her words, her lyrics, and I feel like you're doing something like this. Like, you're creating, you know, you're creating more a space for healing for others as well, right? Then we have the Holy Grail. This one says, stop the endless searching and inner quest. Yeah, you have recognized that what you are searching for is not outside of yourself, and it is in your devotion to a path of love, right? You have like embraced the fact that the path is calling you inward, and that you're not going to find answers in the people around you and outside of yourself. So you've stopped searching to other people for answers, and this is such a beautiful energy. Also, I'm really drawn to see this, it's like there's something rising within her. This is giving like kundalini, so you may work with kundalini, you may have had like a spontaneous kundalini awakening, or there's like kundalini rising anyway from your base chakra, right? Because the base chakra is represented by the red, and I'm really drawn to the fact that there is red, like an explosion of like the kundalini serpent like rising up, which will hearing like only help initiate you on your healing path. Wow. You may teach. I'm also drawn to the fact that this is like an unraveling of the womb, so you may really connect to like womb magic or something to do with the womb for some of you. Interesting. Okay, then we have the return. This one says a new story, you decide, alignment, and it's coming together. Along your healing journey, you have like the path has been cleared, is what I'm hearing. The path has been cleared for you to rewrite your story. You have completely surrendered. I don't know if you can really see, but in this image, she's like hand on her heart chakra. She is like, I'm ready to surrender to this path for my sacred unfolding. I just heard, wow. It's like the new version of you is ready to arise and be reborn. Wow, this is like, you guys are like my intuitives, my healers, that kind of thing, right? Yeah, I'm hearing it's sacred initiations. You're going through sacred initiations. Interesting. I'm really excited for this one. Okay, let's get into the different aspects of the healing journey. Okay, so the first point of the star we have represents the mind. Where's your head at, right? What are you strategizing? What it logically makes sense to you right now? What is consuming your thoughts, right? Let's have a look. And this is obviously in regards to the healing journey. We have filthy, disillusion, clarified by the Page of Wands, the Sun. Wow, this vibrant energy. And the Four of Wands. Oh my god. Okay, all right. Let me have a look. So what is consuming your thoughts right now is that you are strategizing, like, because this is like where we strategize, where we come up with solutions to problems. And your solution here is, despite all the mess and the state that the world is in right now, the toxic relationships, the people with the victim mentalities around you, people who are trying to taint your experience, your journey, and like we have this disillusionment, right, which is people who challenge your belief systems, that challenge your faith, that challenge your journey despite all of this, and people just bringing a high level of toxicity to try and sway you, trying to I'm hearing like people who are seeking validation from you, to validate their experience. So I'm actually somebody's coming to mind as I'm connecting in with this energy. This is like people who, you know, they've always got some sort of ish going on, some sort of chaos, and you know, they're dragging you into it, or they're just trapped in like this heavy matrix of victimization and blaming and projection, right? Despite all of this, Page of Wands, you are trying to just live in the moment, be reckless, be free, embody your free spirit. I feel like you're having like a great time. You're having a great time with that, and the Sun and the Four of Wands, like you are celebrating each moment. You are vibing high. How do you like strategize? How can you strategize to navigate around this chaos, toxic energy that's happening around you? It seems like this is a very lonely journey, right? It's isolated. You're like living your best life. Celebrating, like it's giving like dancing. When I look at this, Page of Wands is a very like dancing in the moment, lose yourself kind of energy. Then we have the Sun energy, these two little bubbas here, and they're dancing. And then the Four of Wands also represents dancing. It's like you're just dancing through life, and you're like, how do I maintain this with all that ish going on, right? How do I heal this? All right, let's look a little deeper at this. The Emperor in the reverse, right? The Emperor is about structure, about the way of we doing things. It is the Matrix, right? It's people with big egos, like their egos are clashing with each other. Like this is people who are, you know, fighting from a space of survival that are in constant power struggles with each other. And you're like, with like this world is fucked, basically, right? So your energy, like I recognize that, but I'm not. I'm good. Like I'm trying to find the joy in each moment. I'm trying to reconnect. I'm grounding my energy into the earth, right? I'm literally seeing like feet on soil. So you may be actually doing this. Yeah, it's like people may think I'm crazy because I've got this dream-like idealistic idea about life and what it could be, and I see the world with possibility, like with the, it's giving childlike energy. I'm seeing the world now through the eyes of a child. Now, you haven't always been here because we've got the Eight of Swords, which is the Eight of Swords is like, I've been here. I understand where they're at in regards to being a prison of their own thoughts and their need for survival and the things that restrict them and trap them, because I stayed here for a really long time and didn't want to see the true joy in each moment. Now that I'm finding it, right, in regards to this leg of the journey, I don't want to get locked into that, right? That it's like, it feels like an energy of people don't understand. They don't see until they get to the point where they see where what I see. They're just going to continue to fight and argue and power struggle with each other and one up each other and this kind of thing. Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's go into the second aspect, which represents the heart. Now, this particular aspect represents living a life in flow, like making heart-based choices, right? Heart-centered decisions. It is having empathy and, cohesive, harmonious relationships with people, right? Let's have a look at your energy surrounding this area. So you have the trickster. Then we have leaving behind, detached, progress, and then we have the temperance. So you are the temperance, you are restoring the balance, you are alchemizing this energy. Four of Pentacles, you understand where you need to guard yourself, where you can't, fully express. Queen of Swords, boundaries, right? Boundaries, truth, discernment. And the Hermit, when to withdraw. Okay, beautiful. Okay, let's have another look here. So we've got this trickster energy, right? This is about, clearly you live within the heart space, right? However, in regards to having a harmonious relationship with everybody, you understand with this trickster energy that people don't always have the best of intentions for you, right? People will act from a space of ego, right? We all have the ego. I feel like you've done a lot of work on your own ego and diminishing that. However, you are not going to be fooled by most of the rest of the population that are still in this ego mindset. Then we have leaving behind, right? So this is disconnecting from toxic relationships, toxic family members, toxic friends, people who are in this space. And so I feel like you're very much still working through this, right? Having this sword up, understanding that if you want more balance around you, you're the one that has to bring the balance. You're the one that has to make these decisions. You're the one that has to get that sword and start cutting these energetic cords, right? With these people, to preserve your own energy. See how she's guarding her heart space? She's guarding her heart space because through wisdom, it's like this is never going to work, right? If I want to stay in this state of blissful energy, I can't continue to give to these like toxic energies, right? This is never, it doesn't work. I've got to leave something behind. I'm unfulfilled here. I keep being dragged back in, and as much as I try and maintain this like bubble of pure bliss and connection and heart-based free flow, I got to be real about this, right? Then we have detachment, and we also have the Hermit, clarifying that energy. This is completely withdrawing. I need to detach from these energies, and you might do that quietly, right? I don't see necessarily. I've got the Queen of Swords here who's got her sword up and she's got boundaries. However, it seems like a quiet detachment. Like, she's very intuitive, she's very discerning. I discern this energy is not for me. I'm not going to answer my phone. I'm not going to come running. I need to have boundaries here with this person. I don't fuck with that if I want to maintain my peace, basically. Then we have progress. Yeah, if I want to progress in my healing journey, I know that I need to take this action. I know that I have to be the change bringer, that I can't just wait for these relationships, connections to heal themselves. I need to really make some moves here, right? You are the healer, and so you really need to prioritize your own energy, because you can't heal others with all this interference, right? I'm hearing it as like radio frequency interference, like static. This may be relevant to some of you. You may actually hear like static frequencies. Okay, now I'm being told, shown. So recently, when I was playing an audio clip, I actually had a spirit come through and interfere with that audio. So you may be a medium, you may have spirits that come through and speak to you as well. You may have had something like this happen, right? Just a little side note. Okay, next up we have the truth aspect. Now, when we're talking about truth, we're talking about living in alignment with what we know to be true, using our voice and not just like living our truth, right? And what it is that we deem to be true. So we have revelations, we have imbalance. Yeah, so something's been revealed to you, like something's been revealed to you in regards to some sort of upheaval of what is no longer resonant with you and what's completely imbalanced in regards to your connections. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Judgment in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles. So within your truth energy is that this isn't about them, it's about you. It's about you releasing old habits of consistently like giving to people where it's just chaotic energy, right? It's not necessarily, I'm not necessarily getting like huge betrayals or things like, it's just drama. Like so many drama, people who are just always having conflicts with others. They're starting arguments, or it's tit for tat, or it's just crazy disputes, emotional tensions within connections and relationships. Like I said, like power struggles, people who just always want to have a problem, right, within your energy. Now, you've got the Seven of Pentacles here. This Seven of Pentacles represents she has given a lot to this tree, right? She's raised it from a seed. She has waited for it to grow and bear fruit. Then we have the Two of Swords here, is the next card. I feel like some of these relationships, you've had them in your life for a really long time. They could have been friends that you've had for decades. It could be a partner who you have been in a relationship with for a very long time. It could be family members, like people you know, like friends you've known for a long time. I don't care how much energy and time I've invested in this relationship. If it's not going to bear fruit, if it's going to pull me away from my purpose, Two of Swords, I'm going ghost. I'm cutting you off. Now, this energy in regards to disconnection, it often represents just not answering anymore, right? It's not necessarily causing a big ruckus. Then we have the Judgment card in the reverse. Now, this is being discerning, making judgments about people. This is my final decision. People may not like it. People may have their feathers ruffled because they're going to feel like, oh, what have I done? What have I done? Because they don't understand, because we have allowed the behavior, right? You have allowed this kind of behavior. Ace of Pentacles here as well. I'm creating new opportunity for myself. I'm creating a new path. And in order to get to this pentacle, right, so you may be starting a new business. You may be looking at new ways in order to create financial opportunities for yourself. And you can't have these kind of distractions, right? Because it's probably like some sort of healing modality for most of you. Now, let's clarify this energy, please. Ace of Cups. Yeah. I'm inviting new relationships in. Like, so you're not closing yourself off. You can't be bothered with these people. Yeah. Queen of Wands in the reverse. If ever there was a drama queen, it's the Queen of Wands in the reverse. People who are demanding of your time. People who are dramatic and just cause issues, right? They thrive on the drama. They are vengeful. They are angry. They are jealous of others. They always feel like they're in opposition with each other. And so these people might actually bring these same energies out in you. Yeah, so you're ready to embrace connection, which is good, with people who are more in alignment with your energetic frequency. That means, if you're not going to work with me, if you're going to bring drama and chaos into my life, I'm sorry, I love you. I've put a lot of time, energy, resources into this connection, but it's time for me to disconnect, right? I can't, because you're walking away from this burning building here, like you've burnt the building down, but at the same time, they're the ones that are starting the fires, is the way that I'm getting, like they're consistently starting fires that don't even just chaos, absolute chaos. All right, let's go into the next part. So the next one is love. So now I know that we had the heart energy and we have love energy now, but they're two separate energies. So this specific love energy is about the love frequency. This is about recognizing the oneness with all things. This is a connection to nature, a connection to animals. This is looking at somebody and recognizing that they are not separate from you, but they are a reflection of you and your journey, and embracing these kind of energies, right? This is like choosing love, right? This is not engaging in any dramatic situations that would bring about fear. So let's see where you are here, because it seems like you've been very discerning in being able to identify where there is an absence of love. But let's see how this plays out. So we have unrealistic, amour. Oh, these ones are reversed. Okay, Nine of Wands in the reverse. I'll show you that. Nine of Wands in the reverse. The Star in the reverse. The Tower, and the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Ooh. Okay. So I feel like you do see that you are not separate from anyone else, that everyone else is on their own healing journey, and that they forgive them, for they know not what they do, right? I understand they're just going through their own life lessons, their own challenges. I will forgive them, this kind of energy. However, we've got this unrealistic energy here, right? So just because you recognize this, this is giving like excessive idealism. Like, I am going to completely open up my heart space for this person, consistently hold space for this person, regardless of everything that they do, because more, I have a deep connection to not just this person who's like a pain in my ass, but everyone around me. I will forgive everybody, right? It's giving that Christ consciousness, like really connected to that divine heart space of forgiveness, which is great. However, it can be very idealistic if we don't create these boundaries, right? We have the Nine of Wands here in the reverse. Now, the Nine of Wands is about, you have been through it with these people. These people may have kicked you down, right? It doesn't matter what they do to infiltrate this fortress here that you're trying to protect. You forgive them. You're like, oh, forgive them, for they know not what they do, right? They're just on, let me re-engage with this. I'm sure that, they can heal themselves. Maybe you try and reintegrate with these people. You try and give them chance after chance, and tower every time, right? It erupts. And then you're like, well, at least I act in accordance with my heart space, right? At least I gave them a chance. And don't apologize for being who you are, for being compassionate and forgiving and understanding that, holding space and having compassion for where they're at on their journey, or what it is that they've been through, or whatever. However, you are recognizing now that Eight of Wands, this is in reverse. This is delaying your path. This is delaying where it is that you are going, because you're constantly being drawn back into this, right? It's becoming a hindrance that you are seeing the best in people all the time. So make sure you maintain these Queen of Swords boundaries. Yeah, you think Two of Wands in the reverse and the Nine of Cups in the reverse. You feel like, let me just go back and revisit this, right? Let me just see where this person's at. Like, I feel like they could make better choices. And then you go back and re-engage with it, and you're like, oh, no, still made the same toxic choice. They're still unhappy. They're still miserable. They're still ungrateful for what it is that they have and their experience, and I still have to listen to all of their drama. They're not learning anything. It's taking them a long time, yet you are so patient. Seven of Pentacles. You are. If I continue to wait, invest in this, eventually it will, get somewhere. So then we have the Three of Cups. It's like you don't want to isolate these people. What is advice here, please? What is advice here? Yeah, so don't be too overly generous toward these people. You don't have to cut off communication completely. However, you are being urged to, like, this is something you keep re-engaging in that is pulling you away from your healing journey. You can balance out these energies by, creating more space for them, but not becoming incredibly available to them. I can see with the Temperance energy here, you just want, can't we all be friends? This is like a kumbaya moment. Can't we come together? Like, maybe I can help restore the balance, particularly if you are, in a healing modality or you work with people with this kind of thing, I can fix this. No, no, you can't. This is where we fall into the trap of recognizing that not everybody can come along with us for every stage of the journey. Okay, because first of all, we have to maintain our own peace. Now, we can go in and fix situations and restore balance in situations, sure, but if it's starting to affect our own peace, then we can't do it from the right heart-centered space. Then we have, for the final aspect, we have spirit. Now, the spirit energy represents like connection to spirit guides, connection to spirit, source, God, however it is that you connect. This is the deep divine connection. Let's have a look and see where you are. So we have strain, interesting, renewed joy, trauma, okay, the Chariot, Two of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, and Three of Cups. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper here. So, strain. So, your connection to the divine might feel a little hard work right now, right? Especially if you've got all this ish going on around you or dramatic interference that pulls us away from the divine connection. It pulls us away from our heart space when we've got to worry about all this external ish that's going on, right? You're constantly feeling as though you have to, like, it's giving, it's relentless. It's relentless. So you constantly have to overcome all these challenges around you and keep getting dragged down. Now, what you need to know is this is affecting your channel, right? If you channel, if you are connecting to spirit guides, if you are, it's hard to meditate when there's all chaos going on around you and you're constantly getting phone calls interrupting your communion with spirit, right? Now we have renewed joy, which is great because this is like, that final card was like a reconnection, right? It's in the final card in the initial overall energy of your healing journey, that rose energy. So you are finding the reconnection, and that's probably why you're in so much joy with your spirit team, right? You're in this like abundant joy because even though when it's chaotic around you, you can escape to the spirit space, right? You can escape into higher realms. You can channel higher frequencies, which feels great. And it's a perfect escape from whatever 3D chaos is going on, right? Now, you are at a precipice, I'm hearing, and I'm seeing this Two of Wands, right? Your guides are asking you to make a choice. Make a choice to come closer. However, that will mean you will have to disconnect from some of these dramatic energies in order to maintain your frequency. I feel as though you're being challenged right now by your spirit team, but it's like, so you may have received some sort of downloads or, let me go a little deeper into this. What is this challenge energy that I'm picking up on? Okay, the Ace of Cups. So this is giving like you may have been given a new spiritual gift, from like a new gift opening up for you. You may have been given like a divine mission, right? And if you know, you know. Some sort of something that you need to nurture and bring into fruition. You're being asked to take on a certain kind of challenge here, right? With this Chariot energy. And you are the person for the job. You are the person for the role. So whether or not, like say for example, you are, intuitive and you read cards and you have just been opening up to mediumship, and your spirit team are like, hey, this is a really very sacred gift that we are opening up for you because you are ready and we want you to fully embrace it. However, you're going to have to remove some of the ish around you so that we can have your pure intentions in regards to this. There's something like that happening here, and you're excited about it, right? Also, we've got the Queen of Pentacles here, so the Queen, it might be something that you can actually, turn into a business or make money from, but it's not, you're not doing it for that. It's deeper than that. There's something that you need, I'm looking at this and it's like there's something you need to ground into reality, whether it's like a book or something. Might be like that you're channeling a book like I did with Healing with the Stars. Spirit team came in and they were like, hey, we need you to create this, like channel this book and publish it and all the things. Yeah, so it could be something like that. You're asked to create something in the 3D physical realm in collaboration with spirit, because we've got the 3 of Pentacles here. This is your team, spirit guides. Like you're crafting whatever you're crafting here in this window, and they're there guiding the process. Now, in order to do this, there's some sort of trauma work involved, right? Sorry, my dog started barking. I had to deal with that and quiet them down. So there's some sort of trauma release or something that is involved in this, like maybe some sort of work that you need to do in order to shift your energetic vibration before you can get into a state of whatever this project is like some sort of release ceremony it's coming out as, right? Now, what you are being shown is that this is a choice. I feel like you've got a lot of distractions going on right now. And so you're being asked to eliminate some of those distractions, whether they be relationships, whether they be, menial tasks that, as things that are lowering your frequency. It could be like burnout. You need to be beginning to say no to certain obligations, certain people, putting too much effort into things so that you can focus on this particular project. Then we have the 3 of Cups. This is something that you do with the support of your spirit team. It's a collaboration for sure. Okay, so I just got the Moon in reverse. This is a secret collaboration. And I feel like this is the energy of, I don't feel like this has all been revealed to you yet, that you are starting to align your frequency so that you can get more information, or if you already do know what this project is that you are trying to manifest into reality, or spirit is using you as a vessel to create, then they haven't given you all of the details yet. It's like you might have an idea about it, but you don't know everything just yet. That was really interesting. Okay, let's go to the thorns. Okay, pile number 3, let's look at your thorns. So the first thorn that we have is unfulfilled, festivities, and witchy, clarified by the Page of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Okay, let's have a look here. I feel like the problem here is that a lot of people that you are going to have to disengage with, or they don't really understand why you're pulling back your energy, or they don't understand why you seem to be out here living your best life. Really just celebrating yourself. There's something about you right now that's like glowing, right? And then we've got this witchy card where it's like it's something spiritual that's happening, like you have evolved spiritually, and so you're literally glowing. And so these people are sitting here miserable, right, and unfulfilled within their life, and they're feeling also rejected by you. They're not understanding what's happening. And this makes a lot of sense with the song, because the song sort of touched on this as well. Now we've got the Page of Pentacles here, which is somebody who is curious about something, ready to make an investment, wants to learn more about something. This might be people coming to you saying, can you teach me how to, be like you and enjoy each moment? That's not something you can teach, darling. That is something that you must experience. People are seeing you as like an opportunity, a person that they want to invest in. And yeah, I just feel like be very mindful within this energy, because this seems like you're radiating so high right now. It's almost like with this witchy card, it's like you have everybody under a spell, and you're not necessarily meaning to, but it means that people, the more you disconnect yourself, the more, and withdraw from people or take some time out, but the more people are going to want to sacrifice your energy, right? Then we have the Nine of Swords in the reverse. So this is an energy of, maybe you're stressed about how people are going to perceive you, withdrawing from them or pulling away. Let's see, what else is this thorn, please? It's like these people don't, like, you had to turn your whole life upside down to go through all the spiritual lessons that you have learned. You had to completely surrender the matrix, right? This is a complete card of surrender. It is, having to shift your perspective and sacrifice your entire way of being. Like, the people around you aren't ready for this. They're not ready for this. They want you to give it to them. Like, how do you give it to me? Yeah. Then we have, so people, these people are not that are around you. They may think that it's cool that you have this witchy vibe and you're connected to spirit, and it's, it might be, they might look at you and think, oh, they're so cool with the crystals and the candles and the, full moon spells and all that kind of thing. But it's so much more than that. Your journey, you um, understand that the other people around you are going to struggle just like you had to struggle, and it's so much resistance to the path. And I feel like the people around you are stubborn and they're refusing, they're not leaning in, right? They want a shortcut. They want you to come back for them. Oh, that's interesting. They want you to come back for them. This could be like actually returning to a place that you used to frequent, right? Because the song, what was the song called again? It was something like that. Back home. Come back home. Return here. Stay here with us. Like, it could be like friends, childhood acquaintances that you grew up with that are trying to get you, they're trying to pull you back. Or it could be, people that you partied with back in the day and now they're trying to drag you into this like toxic way of being, and you're not happy there, you're unfulfilled there, and yet they are unfulfilled without you there. They're like, hey, we need you, right? This kind of energy. Okay, so then the final thorn is we have nostalgia. Yeah, this is it. This is all connected, right? This is people from your past, right? What about these good memories that we had? You've changed. Pile number 3, tensions. Yeah, so having tensions with people that you used to really get along with. This is about people wanting to reconnect, rekindle connections, wanting to hang out. Like, you were in such a great vibe, let's go and do stuff. And you're like, oh no, we're just not the same, right? Like, there's such a disconnect. Yeah, the 6 of Cups. Couldn't be any more nostalgic, right? People that you have been friends with, like, for lifetimes. Queen of Cups, who you've showed compassion to, that you have held space for. The Queen of Cups is like the ultimate queen of holding space. She does not judge. She is compassionate. She will give you all of her time and energy and overextends herself in pretty much every situation. Now we've got the King of Cups in the reverse. This is a withdrawal of love. This is somebody who gave their love. I've known you forever. I've always nurtured you. I've given you absolutely everything. And whoops, look, I've just taken my cup back. So what are you going to do? This is going to create tension. That's why this nostalgia and tensions card here. This may cause some conflicts, right? People may not understand you. They may have a different view of your relationship, because it doesn't necessarily seem that you're going to be putting a lot of energy into trying to explain or create boundaries. I feel like you're done there. I feel like you've been there, done that. And now it's like, it's just a tense situation. I don't want to be involved in it. I'm trying to avoid conflict at all costs. It's not you, it's me. It's giving like, it's not you, it's me. And I feel like you just feel relieved when you're removed from these people. Like, they don't see you at all anymore. Thank you so much for listening to this reading. I know it was long. If this reading resonated with you, leave me a comment in the comment section. And if you would like to book a personalized reading with me, link is in the description box.